Hey guys, what is going on? It is Spherical here. We are back with Hunter x Hunter episode number 138. Last time on, the elections in full swing, and the first round of voting actually already ended with no result really. Of course, again, it's interesting because like even if there is a result, I feel like Pariston is still gonna win as of right now. So it's I don't know, it's kind of a weird situation. Also, I guess I completely forgot to mention, because I should probably mention for each series I'm doing, yes, this is my new camera, so if things look a little different, that's why. Anyways, back to what I was talking about. Pariston dominated the votes for the most part. He had like what, 38%. So I mean it could be worse, but there was no really high second runner. Like it was mostly just him running away with it. So I don't know, and then I'm still confused about Killua. Like he said, he was staying with Gon. He wanted to help him. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna help Gon, and then he's like, yeah, by the way, I'm leaving. So I don't know if they're correlated or if Killua needs to just take a minute to go do something before he comes back to Gon. Like I don't know what Killua was doing. What else? Again, we learned more about the Zodiacs, which is exciting. Obviously excited to learn more about them. Jing, we saw Jing. He's an integral part of the story all of a sudden now. Not that he wasn't before, but we're actually seeing him as a, what he's doing in the current, like, because we haven't seen him in the current tense, like the present tense, have we? At all in this show. Everything we've seen with Jing is through flashbacks. I didn't even think of that. 137, or I guess the end of 136 was the very first time we've seen Jing in the present tense, right? I'm trying to think back now. That's crazy. Wow. But anyways, I'm ready to get into the episodes. As always, link is at the top of the description. It'll take you to Vimeo. You can watch the reaction highlight there, and then head back here afterwards for the post-episode discussion. With that out of the way, let's get into the episode. Man, oh man, Aluka. Okay. Again, first off, I want to start this discussion with this because it was kind of on my mind. Again, I find it's a very subtle detail. Again, Killua, I believe it's just Killua. There might be somebody else that I'm forgetting. Refers to both Kaluto and now Aluka as a female, as a sister, whereas everybody else calls them, male. Now, I'm guessing the reason being would be because, they're born male, but they want to be female. And of course, Killua is close to them, right? So I think that's kind of to establish the fact that Killua is close to them and treats them how they want to be treated, whereas everybody else just kind of treats them as what they are, killers to be used for jobs, and that's that. It's not really explained. I'm trying to think. Did anybody else call Kaluto? Again, I talked about it in the reaction. I think it was Nobunaga who called Kaluto a girl as well, like a little girl. Because again, Kaluto looks like a little girl. I thought Kaluto was a little girl when I first saw Kaluto. Maybe the apprentice butler. I can't remember. I feel like there was somebody along with Killua who would like regularly call Kaluto refer to her as a female, right? So I guess for simplicity's sake, we're going to be going with she when I'm talking about Aluka, just so we're on the same page and we know who we're talking about here. But man, so you get 3 requests, or Aluka gets 3 requests. You fulfill them, and her eyes will turn black, and she will ask, or she will grant any wish. And by any wish, it seems like it's almost really any wish. I mean, maybe something short of like destroy the entire universe. Like, okay, maybe that's a bit too much. I'm sure it's within the capabilities of however her Nen works. But the problem is the bigger the wish, the bigger the repercussions for the requests for the next person. So if I were to make my wish, I fulfilled the 3 requests, or 4 requests, or 3 requests, sorry. I have a wish. I asked for a can of soda. Just 1 can of soda. That's it. She gives me it, and boom. The next requests for the next person are going to be nice and easy. Something as simple as pick me up or play with me. But then after that, I make a new wish. And my wish now is to become the leader of the entire world. Well, whoever gets my next requests are going to be in for a bit of trouble, to say the least. So there's that aspect to it. And even worse, you'd think, okay, well, just don't do the requests then. If they're bad, just refuse them. Well, if you refuse 4 requests, you and your most loved person will die. And not just that, if it was a big enough request, which again, assuming it's a bad enough request to deny it, that means that the previous wish must have been pretty big. And if that's the case, that means that more than just 2 people will die. If we look at the millionaire wish, 67 known people died, probably more. So it's just a giant recipe for disaster. So with that, now looking at this, like this is really interesting, because if Killua messes this up, him and Gon are gonna die. Gon is for sure gonna be that second person to die. I don't think, anybody's more important in Killua's life than Gon. No, it's not even a matter of thinking. That's a fact. It's pretty obvious. So Killua's taking a massive risk here. Again, it's kind of, alleviated by the fact that, again, the last wish wasn't too major. It was an expensive laptop. I think they said it was like one of the best of the best you can get, or computer, sorry. But it still, it wasn't asking to be a millionaire. So I just actually realized Killua's like coping strategy with Alluka was very interesting. Again, kind of the whole cycle that had been repeating for a long time seemed to be, Alluka would ask, pick me up, throw me, play with me in this, and then Killua's request would be throw me up high, and then it repeats because his request is very tiny, so the future request will be tiny as well. The first time we saw that cycle broken really was when, again, the butler asked for $1 million, and then all of a sudden, or to be a millionaire, and then all of a sudden the cycle was just completely thrown out of loop. I'm really curious to see how they got out of it. Like, I don't know if they answered that in this episode. I might have to look back, but my question right now is, if you deny 4 requests or refuse 4 requests and then you die, are the requests for the next person still going to be based off of the last wish that was made? So for example, for the millionaire wish, the next butler obviously refused the 4 requests because they were absurd, and she died, and so did 67 plus people. After that, did they still have Alluka asking for these fucked up requests, or does it just kind of reset after that and Alluka's back to, asking for minor things again? Because that can be important, because then that means you're going to have to get somebody to sacrifice themselves, basically, to reset Alluka to her normal state. Like, somebody's going to have to give up their spine, their brain, their liver. I can't remember what else she asked for. And then they're going to have to make a minor wish after that to reset it. I'm guessing it just resets after, one person denies 4, because otherwise, like, that's, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. So I'm guessing Gon, or Killua's wish is going to be to heal Gon, right? Or to make sure he's alive. I wonder how much of a impact that'll have on Alluka's requests. I also really wonder if there's a way, like, I wonder if Alluka is conscious of this whole thing, like, because she looks a lot older. When she was younger, maybe not, but she looks a lot older now. So I wonder if there's a way, like, that Killua can come to terms with Alluka and say, hey, everyone kind of looks at you as a monster right now, but if we can kind of deal with your thing and we can kind of learn to work with it, you can kind of be reinstated back into, society. And, like, say, I don't know, maybe make a deal where I will fulfill all the requests you want, and I will also wish for minor things in return so that nothing too fucked up happens, right? Because clearly, one thing Alluka doesn't seem to have consciousness over is her requests she makes, right? Not consciousness, but she doesn't have the presence of mind. Like, she's just kind of taken over when she requests things. So I'd assume no matter how much she doesn't want to wish for bad things, she probably still will, right? So if we have a deal where Killua does everything for her, all her requests, then Alluka in return, Killua's going to be the only one making wishes in return, so nothing too bad will happen. The only problem, again, though, is I feel like Alluka's kind of controlled by something that just makes her request things just out of nowhere. So who's to say she won't just escape the house and just start requesting things from random people, and then all of a sudden, you have a massive freaking problem on your hand, because if people don't know what's happening, there's gonna inadvertently be some bad wishes made. Again, I like the whole us finding out through the Zoldycks finding out. Like, again, Killua, he found out about the whole request and wish thing because once Alluka's eyes turned black and everything, he he asked her, hey, how can I make your eyes not turn black? And then that was his wish, was for her to explain it all. I love that. It's super interesting. We got to kind of see it all unfold through them. So yeah, that's interesting. My question, and this might be a kind of a fucked up question, but I'm just kind of curious as to why they wouldn't have done it yet. Because clearly Silva seems to see Alluka as a burden. I wonder if it's possible, just hear me out, because this isn't what I would wish for, but I'm just thinking there would be people out there who would wish for this, to wish for Alluka to just die. Like, Illumi wants Alluka dead, it seems like. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe Silva and others would too. But I guess, to be fair, they're more than capable of killing Alluka right on their own anyway, so I guess throw that out the window. If they wanted to kill Alluka, they would have done it already, so what is Illumi about then? Like, maybe Illumi wants to kill Alluka, but the rest of the family won't let him? Maybe? Huh. Or maybe there's something, there could be more conditions too that we don't know about that could be preventing stuff like that from happening. Of course, I don't want Alluka to die. I want her to be able to overcome what's happening, for Killua to maybe save her while she also saves Gon. Like, what if you made a wish, say, I wish for your powers to disappear? Is that possible? Has somebody already tried that? Of course, I feel like there's a bit more to explain with this power that we don't know about yet. Again, my biggest question is, how does it relate to Nen at all? Like, what class would this even fall under? Like, this just seems so... This has to be the closest, like... I mean, there's been some pretty bizarre, I guess, things, like, again, Neon and her fortune-telling and stuff like that. I mean, I guess this isn't too out of the realm of everything we've seen before, but this definitely seems a bit more over the top than a lot of other Nen abilities we've seen, in terms of just, this is just crazy. Like, ugh. Man. Yeah, I was going into this thinking we were going to get more of the election stuff, and we got a little bit of the election stuff, but I don't even care about that anymore. We can save Periston's whole election schemes for a later time. I want to know what's going on with Alluka right now. Is there anything else that really happened? This episode was mostly just us flashing back to Alluka. Like, I feel like half of the episode was just a flashback. No, yeah, the first half was just, again, kind of Periston trying to win the election, as always. Of the whole idea that Netero only voted him up. Well, he voted up his one person that he couldn't stand. Such a Netero thing to do. Is there a strategic reason to it? No. Is there a logical reason to it? No, most definitely not. The reason is, I don't know, Netero just wanted to make things interesting. Again, I'm curious, though, to see... You know, I do have a question, actually. What makes Periston... Like, why is he the front runner in the first place? I'm guessing it's because he's so charismatic and he's able to... Like I said, even though we know that he's probably doing something shady, he's still very convincing, just watching him. So I guess he's probably a very smart person when it comes to swaying people and stuff like that. I mean, he is. I want to know more about what exactly Periston wants. Like... What he would do as chairman, what he would change, what he would... Because who knows? Again, I've said this, maybe Periston would be a good choice. We don't really know. We haven't seen a whole lot of him, so... There's still the weird thing about a certain amount of hunters missing after he became vice chairman. Again, it was... I can't remember the number, but it was increased tenfold by what it would normally be, the average, so... That's something to keep in mind. I didn't really, mention that at all last episode when we heard about it, but it is important. Or it will be important, I feel like. Man. I'm just loving this arc. I'm probably gonna end this off here, though. I think that's pretty much all for this episode. Again, There's 10 episodes left. Wait. I always forget. 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2. Wait, what did I just say? I had 10, 11. Yeah, there's 10 episodes left. I always get confused with episode numbers because, like, it's... Well, no, never mind. I'm stupid. It's 10. Yeah, 10 episodes left. That means 2 weeks. Let that sink in. As always, if you guys want early access and over the full-length versions of these reactions, click that link down in the description and it'll take you to patreon.com/sphericalfilms and you can check that out there. But with all that out of the way, I do thank you guys for watching, and I will talk to you guys all tomorrow with episode number 139. Until then, peace out.